Roll dice, be nice, and stay tuned. This is the Live to Die podcast.
So now that we're in chapter 3, checking out a classic dungeon crawl, and get a little bit of an insight into sort of what chapter 3 is going to be about at the end of last episode with the words from the mouth of that, like, you know, not rotted, but sort of like wilted elven corpse.
Gross.
Ick.
Thanks. And I will say, I think in the next few episodes, at some point I'm going to have a goal to get an even better ick out of several of you. Reading ahead, I think there's some really great opportunities. I have a couple of visual images from other mediums prepared, some select pages from comics or other things that I think just really convey the ick that I'm going to try to bring up later.
Can't wait.
You know those like seed pod things that have just a whole bunch of holes? It's like a
Lotus
big
pod.
holes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. That
Did
gives me the ick.
Did you just say lotus buttholes?
Lotus pods.
Yeah, lotus buttholes.
You have trypophobia.
Yep.
Yeah. Jessica has trypophobia too.
And I just saw an image on Twitter that was like an entire tree with holes that size. And yep, I wanted to throw up.
Yeah, it's the fear of holes or small dots clustered tightly together.
I didn't know this was a thing until my sister discovered it and that she suffers from it. But I guess there's a similar kind of sensation for people when they see, like, if you have a potato and you leave it out too long and it starts to like grow the little sprouts. If she sees that, she turns to like water. She's like, like it super freaks her out. I didn't know that was a thing.
Evolution, man.
Yeah.
Why is that a thing?
I don't know.
So what I've read,
Yeah.
actually, oh shit,
Wrong one.
Not that one. Wrong drop.
actually,
This is a rule for life.
There's a rule for life.
what I read is it has to do with the fact that many things that are infected or start to rot will look similarly. So it's that biological aversion to things that could be bad for you to eat or consume or touch or be near.
Interesting.
Like
That's
wretched
interesting.
flesh.
However, that's just what I read online. So please tweet at us if you have
100% fact.
better information.
If it's
Yeah.
on the internet, it's true.
Heard it here first.
So
This is a nonfiction podcast.
All of this really happened
Based on real events.
it kind of did. Like
in our minds.
It all really happened in our game. Otherwise, the episodes would be shorter if we could script them. So while we're talking about fears, and fear has been definitely a theme of this adventure, whether it was like the Sack Hills earlier. And if you remember, the Pharasman crusader Nelibet even mentioned that he had an interest in going into this basement to try to find a particular kind of sack hill that it has to do with graves or dirt or being buried. So I'm curious, venturing into the basement of this giant cathedral, and we may have touched on this before, but what are your characters' fears? Do you think your characters fear anything?
Yeah, Val's afraid of having to see Nelibet again. That is her greatest fear in this scenario.
Yeah, that's a legit fear.
Anyone else know that have thought about what their character fears?
I think Watson fears the inevitable end because of the entity that he's involved with. He doesn't know what its ultimate end goal is. That's probably his only fear. He's so old, he doesn't care about death or anything, you know?
Oh. That's pleasant.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of existential dread for you.
Yeah.
The Trenton Sperry method.
Yeah.
I have to think about it. I think it's more of a kind of like a cage situation or a lack of control situation, more so with Fox.
Okay.
I think that's probably why he was an Eagle Knight to begin with, or at least part of it, right? There's other things, but maybe they'll become revealed with time.
Ooh.
For Josharis, it would be failing. Like us not getting to the worm or dying along the way. Like that would be, he hopes that does not happen. It's been ingrained in him to complete the task, complete your mission, do whatever you can. He's almost died several times. So in the end now, losing would be the worst thing that could happen to him.
I don't think that Val actually is a very fearful person. I think if anything, she's just more angry.
Right.
So it's like,
Yeah.
so I think she I think she has more like disgust for the situation that's going on, especially as she might even kind of be changing her like spiritual religious affiliations and stuff like that. But she definitely is more angry than she is afraid.
All right.
Josharis doesn't love bees, but he knows how important they are to the environment.
Yeah.
So he kind of just like deals with it.
Well, that's really kind of Josharis. And I'm glad that you took the time to explore his relationship with bees.
Would you like me to talk to them for you?
Please, could you tell?
Yes.
Resolve
Get
this.
them
Stay away
to
from my
not
very
sting me.
scary fangy friend.
I just love the idea that in the background of all of the most intense scenes of this story, there's Josharis like kind of hiding or freaking out from a bee.
Is that a fucking bee? I'm going in the back if that's a bee.
Why did it have to be bees?
If there's fucking bees in the next room, I'm going to quit.
I am going to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
It's like there could be bees.
Yeah.
I have the power to put
You
bees
have
in the
the
game.
power to put bees anywhere in the game.
Quickly searching archives.
Do you remember
of
when
Memphis
we
for a bee
played-
swarm.
Do you remember when we played the playtest before we started doing this and we were just somewhere where all there was spiders everywhere?
Yeah.
And James was making the spider sound all the time.
Oh,
And
yeah,
that was awful.
Not good.
I think that was also when we were using I think we were using like tabletopaudio.com, which were also really good audio, but it had some sounds in the background. And we were joking about like the cave juice sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's where cave juice
Oh,
came
that was our
Cave
first
juice.
joke.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The one
I
for-
remember my first joke.
Well, fortunately for you, none of you listed ghosts as something you're afraid of. So hopefully that last encounter
Fuck
We've
ghosts.
killed death
Yeah.
3 times
wasn't too brutal.
3 times. That's true.
with help. Ish.
With help.
From other ghosts, kind of.
Yeah.
So just a little bit of a recap. You defeated these 2 ghosts, and they looked like 2 elves. One was quite well dressed, and the other looked like they were in more like traveling clothes or something a little more practical. What I will say is, as you were fighting them, you realized that they were very similar to these sort of emaciated, wilted bodies in this room that had been bricked over. And if I remember correctly, before you disturbed this room, you could see where there had been a sort of a space between these 2 rooms that had been bricked up and mortared over, and written on it in chalk was "Bound in spirit, do not remove until torment complete." It's the Pathfinder's dead dove do not eat.
Yep. I don't know what I expected.
And you found bound spirits. You let them out. However, in defeating them, some part of their spirit like went back to their body and then evaporated up almost. So it's sort of like you gave them a chance to find rest.
I do love that we were like debating for so long, like, what do you think is back there? Like, should we, what's going on? And it's like really exactly what was written on the outside.
Exactly.
We walked into a room with a big red button that says, "Don't push this." And it's like, we're going to push it.
What do you think's going to happen?
Yeah. I'm going to walk over there and push it now.
You don't play a role-playing game to not push the big red
Right.
button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are people out there who play it like that. Like, well, let's not push the button, but this is not that group.
When I was first playing D&D, whatever version it was, there was a mysterious liquid in this dungeon that we were in, and I was like, no
Cave
one
juice.
knew what it was. It was some random ass cave juice. And we didn't know what to do. We kept failing our checks, and finally I was like, I'm a dwarf. I'll drink it. It was something called like a liquid of suspend animation, and I was just like, flop. Like couldn't move anymore after that. The fighter dwarf had to be drugged through the dungeon.
You know when
And,
you ever
push
played
that red button.
Have you ever played Skyrim and it's like to know the properties of something you have to eat it?
Yeah.
But like sometimes you eat it and then your character's like, ah!
Yeah.
I feel like that's something I would have done in my early 20s with stuff in the fridge. I'm just going to try it.
Yeah. It's okay if meat's green, right?
Ew.
They say you should eat more green food.
I don't think that's what they mean.
I've heard it both ways.
I'm getting close to that bigger ick.
We haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet.
Oh, God.
Wait until we get to the like body horror. So when one of the spirits went back, the more well-dressed elven body opened its mouth, and out of it, it sort of uttered the words, "The worm at Galt's heart rises. It has 3 priests here in these crypts, enacting a dire ritual with the other Grey Gardeners. They seek to complete the evil scheme the worm began. Defeating the worm's priests will delay it, but to stop it entirely, you must defeat the worm here in the crypts. End its murderous reign of terror." Now, as you're all a little closer to this, and I do remember, Jane, I think Val had done some like basic funerary rites, or someone had done some funerary rites.
I think Val, because Pharasma.
Pharasma,
I
yeah.
think so.
Yeah, you're kind of playing into that Pharasma stuff a little bit. You know what? Go ahead. What's your society bonus?
Oh,
Or
do you
no,
want me to look at my character sheet?
Well, you know what? Don't even give me the bonus. What level of trained are you in society?
Legendary.
Oh, okay. This will be
Nice.
easy then. You do recognize, and I may have told you this last time, but to bring it forward, you do recognize that both of these bodies are wearing brooches bearing the symbol of the Elvish nation of Keonan.
Right.
So, you're not
And
sure.
that's the neighboring nation that actually, I think in our prologue, Camilla Dronach's mother was there when she got captured by Grey Gardeners,
Yeah,
or coming
wasn't
back from
someone-
there maybe.
Someone like an emissary.
Yep, a
Yeah.
diplomat or something like
diplomat,
that.
yeah.
Keonan elves are sort of famously isolationists, but they do have some contact with the areas outside. So you have that. There are these bodies in front of you, and this body just talked to you a little bit. What do you all do?
That was weird. I need healing. How about anybody else?
Yeah.
I could use it too.
Will it still talk to us?
It just said that.
Oh, okay.
This is awkward. Hello. Hi.
Oh, God.
You killed me. Oh well, that
You were
is slander, my
Already
friend.
dead, but sure.
Where are these other priests?
I know not where they are, just what I heard before I passed into rage.
What can we do to help you?
Let my spirit pass on to the boneyard. You have already done much to lay me to rest. Well, how do we do that?
Just shut the fuck up.
And they I think the spirit would explain just like a couple of basic pieces of like funerary scripture or rite that any of you could perform easily.
That is so funny. That it's like, okay, first you do this, then you do this.
What kind of funeral would you like, friend?
I almost wonder if
Have a
it's
couple
like
of options.
the online recipes where before it gets to the funeral rites, it's like, let me tell you a story. When I was a child, my grandmother.
Jump to recipe.
We have oak or we have cherry. Really, I recommend the cherry, but that is 10,000 gold more expensive.
I guess
But it will sort of pass along, and you do that, and as it's leaving, it just,
Thank you for what you've done. Take what you can from what we've left and use it to vanquish these gardeners. I will.
At the end of the last episode, I really thought that was like all we were going to hear from these elves.
Yeah,
So I love the idea that we're all just like standing around their bodies and like, we're like, okay, and we're talking, and then they're like, wait.
Wait, I'm still here. I'm not dead
Yeah,
yet.
somebody like stepped
I'm
on.
feeling
Like,
much better.
oh, sorry about that.
Okay, so we loot their bodies.
sure.
Of course.
So the
Let me
brooches.
lay you to rest. What is in your pockets?
Hey, they told us it was fine.
I think they meant the armory, but yeah.
No, they did mean their bodies.
Oh, they did mean their bodies.
Dude, if someone kills me and I have anything useful in my body, one of my last messages will be, this is who killed
It's
me.
true.
And take this and shove it down
Just
their throat
take
until they
that
die.
to kill them.
Take my favorite nickel.
Oh, now I'm sad that they had a favorite nickel. Don't do this to me, Trent. I get emotionally
Okay.
attached to things.
Oh, that's right.
This is an ongoing thing, actually, that James has a lot of emotional attachment to inanimate objects. And like, sometimes I exploit this. So like when we, the one that sticks out to me is once we were like cleaning out the fridge and throwing away an empty like plastic case of like blueberries
Oh,
or
like a
something.
clamshell
Like,
thing.
yeah. And I just kept holding it up to James like it was talking and going, don't throw me away. And he was like, stop, I'm actually sad.
So looking through the bodies, those brooches that I mentioned earlier that bear sort of like the sign of Keonan, they're really, really well made, exquisitely well made. And you think they'd be worth about 1,800 gold apiece.
Dang.
And an international incident in selling the brooch and signs of a sovereign nation.
Yeah.
We might be better off if we sort of find a way to return them, let them know what happened to their ambassadors or what have you.
Well, and it should be worth noting that, like, I can joke and talk about the international incident thing, but they aren't intrinsically badges of office. It'd be like wearing a really, really nice display of
The American flag.
I was going to say the Colorado flag,
Yeah.
but yeah, sure. Also, it's weird that Colorado is really into its flag when almost no other state is.
Didn't they make it in like the 70s? It's like remade.
It does look more modern than some of like the East Coast flags.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just redid it in the 70s.
So the other thing that you come across is the more nicely dressed body has an odd sort of sliver talisman, like a small sliver of metal woven around the hilt of a relatively otherwise, like it was woven around the sheath of a dagger, where a dagger should be. And anyone who wants to give me a nature, occult, arcana, or religion check can let me know if they want to try to identify what this talisman is.
Because it belonged to a weapon, would warfare lore work? Actually, you know what? Occult, it doesn't matter. My occult's better.
Sure.
43.
Yeah, that'll be plenty high. So you recognize this as a talisman called a dispelling sliver. It's made from treated silver of cold iron. This talisman, which you affix to a weapon that you must be at least master level proficiency in. When you strike with it, you can choose to activate the talisman, and it attempts to counteract a single spell that is active on the target with an 8th level dispel magic.
That's really
That's
cool.
awesome.
Whoa.
Now, as a reminder, and let me get the button right. The design theory and philosophy behind talismans was that in older, D20 fantasy games, Pathfinder, Dungeons and Dragons, and all that, your spellcasters had cool things like scrolls, one-time use items that were powerful and really interesting in combat. And outside of potions, there weren't anything comparable for non-spellcasters. And so talismans was second edition Pathfinder's sort of stab, if you will, at doing something similarly interesting. So this is a one-time use item that anyone can affix to. And I'm sure at this point, all of you are at least masters in your weapons that you use. And so, well, maybe not the druid.
I am a master at swinging a stick.
A stick, which we found out while we were setting up for the recording today, does have a name.
Yeah. What's its name,
It's
Watson?
named Sticky.
It's sticky, sticky, sticky.
Let's bash around. Anyway, so you do have this. It's a one-time use item. It's worth a cool 2,400 gold or a dispel. In case you really want to dig into the rules for a dispelling, the counteract check bonus is a plus 29.
Wow. You can only affix one talisman to a weapon, right?
I have no idea. I should, but
Yeah, I don't
I've
know
only
either.
ever GM'd, so I haven't had to look that up.
We'll look that one up later.
I'll look. I'm on it.
All right,
I'm on
Jared's
it.
on it. So you loot the bodies of these elven diplomats because they told you to. You've laid their spirits to rest. Pharasma's really happy about that. So let's kind of recap a little bit briefly where you are. You are in the basement, if you will. You're in some sort of dungeon far beneath this ancient monastery that at some point was repurposed by the Grey Gardeners. There were 2 staircases going down. You took the stairs to the north because Nelibet told you that the stairs to the south had some danger at the bottom of them. So you said we went to the north. You came into a room that looked like an armory with a few Grey Gardeners guarding it. You took them out, found some badass magical items, a big flaming bastard sword that Drosharis picked up, some pretty cool magical armor that Val's rocking, and then a halberd that I don't know if Fox is using it yet or intending to rip the rune off of it, but there's a really some strong magical runes on it. Nothing property-wise cool, but the fundamentals are banging.
Yeah. TBD, but I'll probably use it
You got options now.
at some point.
I also love the idea in adventure games like this. Like I can see carrying around a couple extra swords or a dagger, but
Yeah.
anyone who ever has 2 pole arms trying to walk through a door
Yeah.
would just be the hardest thing ever.
It's true.
So you have that, and then you ventured past the armory room into a room that looks like at one point held like crypts and sarcophagi. And with the one in particular you went into had a weird carving into the floor, something like a large serpent or worm. And then the far side there was the mortared up wall. that said, "Dead spirits do not eat." And you're like, I wonder what's in there. And it was spirits. And so you broke them out and fought them. From the room you're in now, you kind of have a couple of options. To the north of the room, there is 3 doors that you've opened up a little bit, and you found sarcophagi in them, or spaces where sarcophagi used to be. In this case, most of them still have sarcophagi in them. To the east is a single door, and to the south are 4 more doors, and they're all closed. You've checked the ones to the north, sarcophagi in small 15-foot by 15-foot rooms, door to the east, and 4 doors to the south.
Can we sit here for give or take 10 minutes while I heal?
Yeah, I need that too.
Everyone take 72 healing.
Oh, nice.
That was a DC 40 that I made.
Cool.
If we're going to take 10 minutes, then I'm going to pursue a lead.
Okay.
What
What are you going to designate as a lead?
I'm going to make 2 of the 3 other priests my 2 leads.
Okay. So it's once every 10 minutes you can just set a lead. So you probably can set 1 lead right now, and then 10 minutes later. So you're going to set, basically, I'm okay if you want to say the Worm Prophets as your lead.
The Worm Prophets are my lead.
Or these priests. Maybe they're Worm Prophets. Who knows what they're called? Maybe I just accidentally said the name.
Maybe.
20 minutes?
Yeah.
Anybody need more than 72?
I need more healing.
Okay, so now you have 20 minutes, and
Yeah.
you can set 2 of the priests.
Okay.
And that's an automatic. I have assurance on medicine now at a 36. It's a
Nice.
DC 30. Do you want me to roll it to make sure or to see if it's a 20, I guess?
No, if you have assurance, you can choose to not roll.
Yeah. So then DC 30.
Cool. So what's everyone else doing during this time?
51.
Is everyone fully healed at that point? Nice.
Josharis is going to more closely look at each, in that 20 minutes, each one of these doors.
Okay.
Because I didn't need any healing, so the whole 20 minutes he has to look around the room, pay attention to things a little bit more closely. Maybe one of them has a symbol he hasn't noticed, or whatever.
Now, are you putting any pressure on the doors, or just trying to open them, or are you just looking at them?
Once, I would say, if I realize that the door is not trapped, I'll put some pressure on it and try to open it.
Okay. Like, just slam it open really obviously and declare I'm here.
No.
So you know what? Let's do a stealth check for you. So looking through those doors with a secret check, what you find is the eastmost and westmost doors seem like they could open, but the 2 middle doors, they feel like they don't move, and there is some light. Like, maybe you're able to just carefully open the door a little, and a tiny bit of light comes through, but you don't see any light under whatever amount of gap there is on the 2 middle doors. So maybe something's blocking them.
This is the worst let's make a deal ever.
So that's what you see kind of looking there. That you think the eastmost and the westmost doors will open, but the 2 middle, something's keeping them closed.
Well, what do you say? You guys want to go in the east door, the west door, or both?
Well, there's the east door, then there's the southeast and the southwest door.
There's so many doors. What do you guys want to do?
Roll a d4.
Val
What
walks
is
through the
this,
east
Steve?
door.
What do you speak of?
The east door or the southeast door?
Oh, God. Let's just go through the east door.
Christ.
All
Okay.
these doors probably lead us all to the same place. We need to kill these priests.
All right.
Is this where we want to go?
Yeah.
All right. So I heard east door. So you go to the east, you open that door,
I want to stay back, please.
and you see a small hallway. Looks like it maybe 15 feet, sort of moving at an angle away from this room. Another door sits at the end of it. What do you do?
Perception?
Sure. I'll roll that for you over here. Oh, you know what?
Of course you will.
So these are heavy doors. It's all stone down here. There's no light coming through this door, but you do hear very, very faint sounds. You can't quite make it. It's a miracle at all that you can hear anything through this door, but you feel like you can maybe pick out something. So that's you're coming from the door at the end of the hallway.
Like a voice, like a.
Like it's maybe this. No one else can hear it. the walls and the door is so thick that you can maybe just pick out something that isn't silent, sort of
movement or
it's really hard to tell. Like it's a really thick door. You have no idea.
It's a cat.
let's go through the southeast door.
It's always a cat.
Can you like generally point to which doors you're talking about for
Yeah, so you're at the end of the hallway.
Okay, so at the other end of the hallway there is a door.
Yeah, so you open the door, and there's a hallway. At the end of that hallway is another door, and what you hear through that door something. You
Val
also see no light
starts
coming through.
making aggressive hand motions to everybody to describe that she hears an unidentified noise.
I need a demonstration.
She's giving us the finger.
Perhaps we should
she's pointing.
accommodate the GM and not go into this part that's not drawn yet.
Oh, no. That's for a reason, but look, this is totally open. You can go anywhere. There is no railroading outside of the intrinsic railroading of a pre-written adventure. That door is totally viable. And what I'll say is there's no right door. Only wrong doors.
Yes, there are right and left doors. Plenty of them.
It's just a concept, Trent. It's all relative. From the other side, a right door is a left
So
door.
the southeast door it is then.
Yes, I agree.
We can go back to the southeast door if this door looks scary.
You're like waving and you look back and we're all walking
we're all
towards
just
the other door.
All right, other door.
That one.
All right, Val follows them to the other door.
All right, fine. You had a cool door to go through, but I guess you'll go somewhere else.
I tripped.
Watson's mini just fell over. Trent is method acting at the moment.
Trent hurls himself to the ground to recreate it.
Although
right.
I do think that like you turning to face a different direction and falling over is probably something that Watson would do.
My hip.
Okay, so now you're going to basically the doors on the south side
Mhm.
of this large vault that you're in. And you're at one of the doors.
Open
What
it.
do you
We've
do?
already checked it for traps and whatnots. So we will open the door and I will step in.
Let's
So
go.
you open this door, and
Left hand.
with your left hand, I appreciate you denoting this.
No eyes open.
And you can see, remember how on the north side of the room there were like burial vaults with sarcophagi in them? You realize that down here were previously burial vaults. You open it up and you can see where the walls between a series of burial vaults have all been knocked down with sarcophagi moved aside to create a larger sort of maybe a living space. The center of this room has a fire pit. You can see a makeshift kitchen atop one of the old sarcophagi in the corner of the room. There's bedrolls and blankets that indicate that there are people who've been living here in this room among the buried dead.
Speaking of Skyrim, I've been in this too.
It's kind of like a WeWork space that they used
Where's the
to
dragger?
stay. It's kitchenette,
Val would like to
coffee
use
area.
That's Odd and pick out one non-obvious thing about this new room.
It smells like sex in here.
Oh, God.
What happened?
I smell it. You're right.
So I think what you pick out is, let me just check something. Just check this right here. Ew. Okay, so you see figures hiding behind the sarcophagi and around the corners throughout this whole room.
Oh,
So
Super.
real simple here. I would just like for everyone here to just really roll initiative.
oh, come on.
Boy.
What you're doing is very rude.
And you can take a +1 on this because Drosharis has been scouting and keeping an eye out for danger here.
Nice.
How's everyone feeling going into this?
I'm a
this
little bit
combat?
annoyed that I did my cool feat and then you just told me the thing that was going to happen anyway.
No, I was going to try to get them surprised. So here's essentially how I interpreted your use of that feat there, which is that you don't... Their stealth is against your perception DC unless you're actively searching. So you using what's odd essentially, in my mind, allowed you to pivot to being in the searching mode, see them, and potentially like have a better situation or sort of start the combat a little bit more on your own terms.
All right.
All right. What does everyone have for initiative?
33 for Val.
Nice. Has anyone got higher than a 33?
How about a 43 for Watson?
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Okay, Watson. Dro and Fox, where are you two at?
39 for Fox.
Excellent. And Dro, what about you?
You think I hadn't just been doing this fucking math in my
Where's
head
that
the whole
terrible
time?
math drop?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
38.
All right.
So the fact that
Good
Watson
vamp.
has by far the best initiative of the whole group means we just inadvertently did a hi, I'm Watson.
At the
Yeah.
very back of the room, too.
okay.
I was like,
It's that.
there's nothing in.
Oh, there's
Oh,
definitely
dear.
And
something.
Belle's like, there's something in there.
So the door opens. Drosharis walks through. Watson, Val, and Fox are all right outside the door behind him. And hidden throughout this room are a bunch of enemies. All right. And first turn goes to Watson.
Okay.
Watson, you can see yours is high enough against everyone's check here where you can see hidden throughout the room once Val kind of alerts you to danger. Once Val kind of has a like, that's odd. And Drosharis
There's
is
a
like,
bunch of assholes in here.
darn! I love the narrative of how this has to play out. So Val uses that's odd and things like, it's weird that it seems like there's people here. And Drosharis, as someone who's scouting, just decides, fuck it, it's combat time. Don't hesitate, says go. And says like, don't think, attack. And Watson's the first one to be like, okay, I'll go then.
Oh, okay.
And I think he's going to step into the very corner of the room here.
Cool, so he'll sort of step in, nestled behind a sarcophagi,
He goes-
and Drosharis.
Now is the window of your discontent.
And he's going to...
Is that a polar ray summoning?
Nope. This is Eclipse Burst.
Oh, shit.
Ooh,
He's
yeah.
going to... I think 60-foot burst would get all of them
Yeah, it'll get everyone.
without hitting us.
Especially if you chuck it in the back of the room.
Yeah.
And what I'll say is, like, it's an interesting room. There's all these knockdown walls where there should be burial chambers. And there's lights from torches flickering throughout the room. And as we said before, like, the shadows in this whole basement seem to move incorrectly and weird. So this room's a little extra uncomfortable.
So reflex saves from all of them.
Oh, God. All right.
Get
so
'em.
here's
While
what
he's
we're gonna
rolling
do.
these up, the other day I was looking around online. I found they're like cookie cutters, but they are like area damage that you put down over top of the
Oh,
board.
I've seen those.
Cool.
I
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah,
even
and then
know
when
those.
that would be an interesting thing to be like, all right, 60-foot burst is these people.
Oh, that's cool.
All right, so let's go through the assassins first. So this is a reflex, you said, Trent?
It is.
All right, so this is going to be really simple. So the first one got a 31.
Fail.
Second one got a 32.
Fail.
Third one got a 39.
Fail.
Any crits yet?
No.
Okay, the reflex is very good. And then this last one is far better. It got a 43.
That is a success, so half damage for him.
Okay, and then so we'll do the assassins first, and then the director generals. What do you have?
I'm just hyping. Don't worry.
Oh, okay, I thought you were motioning like something's wrong. I was like, oh,
No,
God,
I was
don't know
like,
it.
yeah, I gotta.
So how much
Get
damage
'em.
is this?
Full damage is 58.
Jeez,
Yes.
Louise.
That is 8d10 cold plus 8d4 negative,
It doesn't matter, but I appreciate that.
which half damage would be 28. No, wait, that can't be right.
It was 58,
Yeah,
it'll be 29.
29.
Look at you. Good math.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So 29 is the half.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then the director general does a whole lot better, and actually no, it's gonna be 43 as well. So that's a save, so it'll take half damage.
Have a loose die.
Loose
Yeah.
damage.
Loose die.
All right, so that's your
All
turn.
right, I got another one. We'll find
It's
it later.
like in the worst spot, too.
You should take that roll, though.
That is Watson's
Saving
turn.
that floor roll.
All right, so it is now the assassin's turn, and I've tried to pick out different models from my collection, so they may not all be gray, as we've talked about before.
It's not even that the model was not gray. The thing in the book wasn't gray.
It was the drawing.
It was the drawing.
And for any of you who were listening, you'll remember that I that was such a bit that I didn't keep it in the title for the episode. And I
Mhm.
think that episode was Off Gray Gardeners or Off Gray Gardening.
Literally a blue gardener, but whatever.
So
Yeah, totally blue.
this
Gray-
miniature, the
grayish
miniature
blue.
that's there in the like blue and gray, there's an assassin who's just to the west of Rosharis, who's hiding behind a sarcophagus. One of the ones that was actually blocking the door. So he is going to dart out from around that sarcophagus and move up towards Drosharis. And He's
that guy.
going to use instant opening. He's going to distract a creature within 30 feet using a few choice words or gestures. He will make you flat-footed, and we've talked about this. He can make you flat-footed because it's an ability and not flanking.
He just gives you the finger.
Yeah. It's the one thing Drosharis hates. These and
Drosharis is like,
It's like being called the chicken, like Marty McFly. Is
Yeah.
The fuck?
So he's going to dash up with a kukri, and he's going to try to strike at you. Oh, I thought that was a natural 20 for a second. I got really excited. 37 to hit, flat-footed?
No.
Yeah,
Get that shit out of here.
That's his turn. Now it's going to move down to the assassin that's sort of across the room to the south, also hiding behind a different sarcophagi in the red hood. And it's going to dash.
Showing some leg.
Yeah. It's important to still
Not many
express your
is.
individuality, no matter what the situation's like. I'm going to dash forward, also create instant opening, because I think instant opening is just until the end of the next turn.
what is that outfit? It looks like it's like a long loincloth with a hood.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, Jane, it's dungeon chic.
Val is judging.
So
like
dashes forward.
A sleeveless hoodie. You seen those?
Oh God,
Same
yeah.
concept.
And it's going to use instant opening because instant opening only applies to itself. It doesn't flat foot you to others. So for action economy, it's going to do the same thing. Kukri out, dash forward, and strike at you. That's going to be a 42 to hit, flat-footed. Oh, nice. So I'm going to come in for some damage there. Not a ton on these.
Roll that weak shit, James.
All right. So it's going to be 16 points of damage and then sneak attack. The sneak attack is much better. I really should just get one more d6. No, I guess if I use the mini one. So it'll be 16 points of normal damage, and then it'll be 16, 21. It'll be 24 points of sneak attack damage.
Okay.
Which I only split up just to make it easier and keep talking. And then that's its whole turn. Fox, now it's your turn. You see these two assassins dash in across the room at Drosharis, and you're outside the room behind him.
Only two dashed up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't know that there are others, except you've heard maybe Val at this point has called it out.
Yeah.
I see four that look alike, one that looks different. And their positions are these many feet away. Free action.
And they're wearing
Yeah.
stupid outfits.
Open the
Fox.
other door.
Fox is going to move to the south of Watson into
Okay.
this little space. Can I go here?
Yep, you'll be standing on. So here's what I say: it'll be difficult terrain. You'll be climbing up on top of a sarcophagus.
That's cool. I like that.
So it just takes a little extra movement.
And we'll do some attacks.
All right. So
Attack.
you've got these two there. You're not flanking, but you've now just climbed up on a sarcophagus and are stabbing down at these two Grey Gardener's assassins. Despite what the miniatures look like, as they're depicted in the art, they're sort of rocking like trench coats with high collars, tri-corner hats, like bandit masks up over their lower face.
Bunch of Franco Columbos in this.
Poor roll, 37.
That is going to be a hit.
Oh, good. I was not expecting that
Yay.
at all. I rolled a 5, so.
Yeah.
You've all been fighting such like single enemy boss sort of creatures that or like from a Pathfinder parlance, a lot of them have been severe or higher fights in which it's sort of like this fight will drain a lot of resources. But I think this is one of the first times you've been in some sort of back-to-back fights at which it's like, yeah, you can hit people, but how do you want to balance spending your spells or abilities? So you
it's
hit on
going
a
to
5
be
sometimes.
26 points of damage.
Okay. All right, starting to really get the damage done on these things.
And we'll go one more.
All right.
Oh,
Roll
that's
the hit.
good. That
Higher than a 5?
Yeah, it's a 15. Plus-
That might be a crit then, because if you hit on a 5 and you're 5 down, 10
Or
up.
5 down.
Yeah, so that'll just be a hit.
So yeah, 42.
Yeah, that's a hit, but not a crit.
Okay.
I thought you were saying 42 points of damage. I was like, how do
No,
you keep
no,
hitting
42
so
to hit.
hard, Fox?
Not quite. Not till I get that rune switched over.
I will say, yeah, this is another example of the person who wrote the adventure kind of helping you out. Because I remember a few fights ago, you were all talking about, like, why can't we just fight more of these rank and file gardeners? That was nice.
Yeah, 33 damage.
Oh, God.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I'll certainly say so. Okay. Well,
And that's the turn.
yeah, now it is Drosharis. It's your turn.
Okay.
And
You remember
got these
Swipe?
Oh,
two. I don't. What does Swipe do?
You make a arcing strike against 2 adjacent creatures. Make a melee strike and compare the attack roll to the AC of up to 2 foes. And then you roll damage for only once and apply it to each creature you hit.
Well, since this is now
that's
mildly
cool.
a learning podcast, since Paizo really capitalized on some gaming topical events and swept in,
Yeah.
which of the many different fighter traits does this ability have?
This one has the flourish, which means it uses multiple.
It just means you can only use it only
Right,
one
because it
flourish.
uses up more than one attack or action at a time with the flourish. So,
Yeah.
2 actions. I rolled.
Oh, is it a 2 action?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not the other one that's like crazy 1 action and I
One
kill
action
like 4
must be
people.
second
and,
actions. Does the
And
Yeah,
you
that
just,
one.
You just get the highest attack bonus on that one strike for
Yep.
both
Yep.
people.
Yep.
That's
Sweet.
cool.
especially with the fighter being just better at
Yeah,
attacking.
that's so good.
And I have a plus 34.
Jesus.
Good lord.
So I'm going to guess
Caden
that
Galean.
the 40 hits because I roll pretty low.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about this flaming sword that I have
Oh God. Yeah. Okay.
because that's what I used. So I hit these 2 guys
Yep.
with that flaming sword,
Now, are you one-handing or two-handing?
one-handing,
Okay.
just one-handing. I'm not an animal.
For now.
So can you remind me, because we had to build it customly, what happens with the fire in the area when I hit with this thing?
Oh God.
Because
yeah.
I know that it normally takes damage, and it's going to take 23. Each will take 23 points, 4 of which is fire damage.
So this is a +2 greater striking, flaming, in your case, bastard sword.
Mm-hmm.
The big thing is that when wielded, it projects an illumination, dim light in 10 feet. So
Okay.
you got that going for you. The big things for you is that you have 2 abilities that you can use for it. This is a plus. Yours is a greater. It's a +3
plus
greater
3.
striking, greater flaming.
Mm-hmm.
The big additional things is, so it has a greater flaming rune on it, which I don't know what that does, but I'm sure you do.
It does fire damage,
Is it like
essentially.
2d10 instead of 1d10
Yes.
or 2d6 or whatever?
Yep.
You have 2 other abilities on it. You can use basically the produce flame cantrip instead of attacking, so you can throw fire at range or melee, or you have the ability where once per day, everyone within 10 feet of you counts as having the flaming rune. So unless you want to, if you don't want
Okay,
to
I just want to do the regular
You
old
just wanna
fire
hit
damage.
super
Yeah.
hard.
That's so cool, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
greater is-
because it means that, like, if Val is standing next to him, all of a sudden her pistol and knife start
Oh,
catching
man.
on fire.
That's
Cool.
right. I forgot about that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a super cool weapon.
I
So-
enjoy it.
Mhm.
So is greater flaming 2d6 then?
Yes.
Cool. So it's greater striking. So it's what? You have 3d.
Oh, sorry. So it would have been another D6 because it only rolled 1.
And it has more persistent damage on a crit.
God, yeah. You may have accidentally built out a flaming rune on it, but it should be a greater flaming rune. So how much damage are you doing to both of these?
So that would be
forceps?
8
Uh-oh.
of the 26 is flaming.
So it's 26 total?
Yep.
Okay. Jeez.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's...
That was really cool, Drusars.
Super cool.
Thank you. I thought so. What am I gonna do with my last action? I'm gonna move to the other side of these people.
Oh, you're going to move through your ally spaces to get up on the back end?
Yeah.
All right, so you jump over Watson, around Fox, and then hop down off the sarcophagi behind them.
Actually, because I would just want to see if I can do it, I want to jump over this assassin.
All
I'm
right.
building this character to be able to jump, so why the F not?
All right, so
It's
we
an
looked at all the
athletics
rules,
check,
but yeah,
right?
give me the athletics check. Because you don't have a running start first, it'll be at a penalty.
It's a 1, but I have a really good acrobatics.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
And I don't have to run. I can just leap.
Oh, you can just leap.
Yeah.
We'll look that up, but you can make it. We'll check that rules afterwards.
I rolled a 20,
Because there is
32.
there's the jump rule, then there's also the leap action, which you can do without it and jump a certain amount.
And I assume that they're not like a 10-foot tall character, right?
No, they're
so
like 5
I'd be
feet.
like 5 feet up, 5 feet over, and landing.
Yeah, I think you can pull that off with the leap, because the leap is
All
a standard action. We'll look it up later.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, does someone mind looking up the action leap for
I'll
me?
look it up since I'm going to be using that rule. Feels like
And
should
that'll
be
be the
mine.
end of your turn. And it's now the assassin that's farther to the west with the black cape. And it's going to, I think it'll take 2 actions to move up. So it'll just move up to the west side of Drosharis. That'll be 2 moves to get there. and then are just going to strike Drosharis with the kukri. So you're not flat-footed to this. It's going to be coming in. I think it's going to be a 41 to hit.
Hit.
All right. It doesn't have sneak attack, though, so that's just going to be 15 points of damage.
Okay.
It's now the other assassin in the red cape. And he is going to be able to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He'll be able to move up behind Drosharis, and he will create an opening. And from that, create an opening, it's going to then try to strike at you flat-footed. That's a pretty good roll. I think that will probably pull that off. That's going to be 46 to hit flat-footed.
Hit.
All right, and now I will get to do some sneak attack damage for you.
46?
Yeah, I rolled really well.
No kidding.
So that's going to be, oh God, where is that? Yeah, okay, that's going to be 14 points of regular damage, and then it will get that sneak attack off on you, Drosharis, and that's going to be really fucking low. That's going to be 15 points of sneak attack damage. Valentine, it's your turn. You've seen all this crazy shit play out. And did anyone get the leap rules up?
I was bringing them up.
Cool. We'll go through Valentine's
And then you started
turn.
stabbing me, bro.
I'm sorry. Doing damage to you.
So Valentine wants to run into the room and come up kind of behind.
Like step in next to Watson.
Can I get, I can't really see, is there a wall? Like, could I get over behind the one in the hood?
Yeah, you're not behind. There's a wall there. You could get next to the one in the hood, but it's standing with its back to a
That
wall.
comes all the way out.
Yeah, we'll do that. That's fine.
There's still like, while most of the walls for the old burial chambers have been knocked down, there's still sort of like partial walls,
Kinda
sort
like
of
a
creating
partition.
mini open space dividers. So this was a loft. They'd say that like there's natural division in the loft space.
Would she be able to see this guy?
No,
Over
the
there?
director general is behind a wall, and you're now nestled in a corner
Coward.
between the burial
Did I
chambers.
see him before?
No, you probably wouldn't have seen him.
Okay.
You've heard that someone's moving back there.
All right,
You
I just want to
perceive
figure
them.
out whether or not he's one of the priests or if he's my lead.
Doesn't seem to be.
Okay.
This looks like one of the. They're equipped and handling themselves like just some of the director generals you've handled before. They don't seem to have any of the religious accoutrements that you would associate with any sort of divine worship or accomplishment.
All right. So as part of initiative, Val can draw both her weapons. So she
Yep.
drew the pistol and the dagger. And will devise a stratagem against the guy in the hood that is definitely not gray.
Sure. Well, I think the miniature is blue, but there is sort of a grayness on the hood, and like there's a cowl that's sort of gray. That's why I picked it out.
Sure.
I'm getting defensive about my few miniatures. I need to buy more miniatures.
His attitude and like overallness, he's kind of gray.
Like a
Sad when we
massive
got
tube.
in here.
I think I will take that roll.
Sure.
And that'd be a 39 to hit.
What's gonna hit?
Yes.
Are you stabbing or shooting?
Shooting.
Hit point blank shot.
Yes. She's
Pistol
like,
just
God, I'm
goes off right
sick,
next to his
Love
head.
it.
sick of these great gardeners. And
Your ears are all just.
that's with the strategic strike. Mop. 43 points of damage.
Mop.
Wait, 43 points of damage?
Yeah, because it's strategic strike,
Yep.
which is baller.
Jeez.
And she can recall knowledge for free as part of the
Yeah.
stratagem.
This is what's your society bonus? This is society.
I think it's 31.
Okay. And I roll that, so. What would you like to know in this case? You got a few pieces of information. I'll say you do high enough, I can give you specific information.
Specific information.
Like, I can give you an exact number if you're interested, or something else.
How
What do
many
you
hit
wanna
points does it have?
know? This thing has remaining... Oh, God, now I have to do extra math, Jane. This thing has about 60, 70 hit points left.
Okay.
No, that's not right. It has about 130 hit points left.
I feel like you made that up, but okay.
No, I'm just really bad at math. It has 133 hit points left.
Okay. And I can get other information too?
No, you get a
That's
thing.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
The one thing.
You're like, you look at it, you've seen it, you pick apart. You've seen enough bodies in your time, created them, or healed by Watson. And you're like, I bet if I did 133 paper cuts, that might kill it.
That would do it. She'll just look at Fox and be like, you should be able to make quick work of this one.
Sure.
And then she'll just stab him.
Pressure.
Okay. No. Wouldn't that be it? Because you moved, recalled knowledge, which was an action.
No, but I get it for free when it's my stratagem.
This isn't your lead.
I think with the stratagem, I get a recall knowledge for free.
Oh, yeah, but your stratagem is an action, right? So you moved, did your stratagem because it's not your lead, and then you attacked. So
Oh,
that's
sure.
3 actions.
Okay.
All right. It is now at the back of the room, the Director General's turn. And it will... let's see. It doesn't have line of sight. So it's just going to stride twice to go join in with the assassins kind of behind Drosharis. And as it walks up, the sword cane out, it will come over and it will just stab at Drosharis with the sword cane.
What an absolute melee in here. Just looking at all of these minis, it's like
Yeah.
all in one,
It's a
like
big cluster.
in one tiny little section of the
They're
room.
literally surrounding Drosharis.
Yeah,
That's
all
true.
of you kind
Good
of
luck,
came
buddy.
in, and there's still a little bit of the structure of like a little bit of the corners of this burial chamber, and all of you have sort of moved into it. And where the walls of the rest of this burial chamber should be are just the bodies of Greg Gardner assassins and Director Generals, just almost like in a scrum, just all descending in on top of you, like trying to dogpile tackle you all down.
Val is going to stab Drosharis and be like, oh no, sorry.
This is a
I know that
40,
was you.
this is a 43 to hit you, Drosharis.
Okay,
You're not
that
flat-footed to that. Okay. In that case, it's going to hit. I would have really liked to make you flat-footed, but I couldn't in this particular case. So that's going to come out to 20 points of damage, and that's his whole turn because he had to move all the way across the room. Watson, it's now your turn.
Wonderful.
Oh, God.
I think I know what's coming.
Watson's going to cast Lightning Storm.
Oh.
I'm sorry, what?
Lightning Storm will be sustained for up to a minute. A 20-foot burst.
1 second, Trent. Please excuse me.
Yes.
There's a rule for that.
Thank you, Sherman.
Go ahead.
Sherman, I'm
Thanks,
still
Sherman.
mad at you.
This is a sustained spell. This is a 3-action cast, sustained
God.
for up to a minute. Essentially, if you're inside, you can create one dark cloud, and it will 20-foot burst 1 lightning bolt per round.
Sick.
So I think the way I can do this is just to put it on top of Drosharis.
All right.
And is that too much? Is there a way to get most of them without getting, like, what's the least number of us that I could get with a 20-foot burst?
Drosharis.
I just put it on top of Drosharis.
A little bit off center, a little south of Drosharis.
Yeah.
But it's not like the cloud does anything, right? It's just the origin from whence lightning bolts come. Like the cloud itself doesn't hurt people. You are summoning a cloud out of which to then summon lightning bolts.
Well, that's it says area 20-foot burst.
Sure. And then I think it's inside of that area you can then strike down lightning bolts from it.
Oh, okay.
So above everyone's head, in this basement, the torches are flickering, and all of a sudden a storm cloud starts to seep out of the stone ceiling and roll and broil, and small flashes of light are appearing in it. As you then call down, who do you want to call down a lightning bolt on, Trent?
We're going to put it on the director.
All right, right on the
Yeah.
Director
Director
General.
General.
The director general.
And because you're casting a pretty famous spell, I'm going to need you to say exactly what comes out of the cloud now, Trent.
Lightning bolt.
Thank you.
Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt.
All right. I get a reflex save, or
You
is this an
do.
attack roll?
Yep. Reflex.
All right. Shit. 32?
That's going to be a fail.
Oh, bummer.
Critical fail?
Not a critical.
Dang.
And how much damage is the Director General going to take as
He-
a lightning bolt rains out of the ceiling?
23 damage.
Oh,
Nice.
Swell.
appreciate
That
that.
is 40-12.
All right, I'll take it. Cracks down. That's your 3 actions to cast, but in the future you can save. And I'm guessing each time you sustain, you'll get to do another.
Lightning bolt.
Thank you.
Fun fact, too, at the most recent level up, I took a 16th level feat called, I have it here, Effortless Concentration. That is essentially a free
The free-
sustain
free sustain.
every round.
Yeah, that's great.
Amazing.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a super
It
cool
is a
feat.
free
cool.
action.
So we talked a lot before about how there's a lot of interesting action choices in 2E, and I love the options for spellcasters. Like, that's such a cool way to get to mix it in, or the way that they made metamagic feats an action economy thing, so that you mix them into or out of a turn to modify the spell versus higher or lower spell levels.
Yep.
Really cool. All right, it's now the assassin that you just point blank shot, Jane. Not super pleased, so it's going to whip around to you. It is going to create an instant opening on you to make you flat-footed. I really want to try to do like cooler stuff, but I think it's just going to attack you because I feel like that's that's really good. So
You got to do with what works, man.
Yeah.
You got to stick with what
it's
works.
going to strike out with the kukri at you, Jane. That's going to be a 39 to hit.
Oh, just barely because I'm flat-footed.
Thank you. So
Ooh.
first things
Ew.
first, you're going to go ahead and take 15 points of normal damage. Well, of slashing damage from the kukri. And then you're going to take sneak attack damage. And that's going to be 10, 15, 20, 25 points of sneak attack damage on top of that. It'll then attack you for its second attack. 27?
That's a critical fail.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. And then that's its whole turn. Now the assassin in the red hood.
She's going to be like, you call yourself an assassin?
Harsh words.
throwing lots of shade today. Now the assassin in the red hood that's sort of in the middle of this really bad place. I think it feels like Dro is still the one to beat on. Dro's in the middle. You know, they're a little smarter now. They know concentrate attacks don't spread damage out.
Yeah.
So it is going to, it is flanking you,
Yes.
but it's going to create an opening because it's seen how you move so quickly. It can't seem to find a flank on you.
Yes.
So it's going to take an action to flat foot you.
Was that Harry Carey?
It may have been. I didn't mean to.
I can't find a way to flat foot you.
Can you
So if
imagine
this is
the one assassin?
the deny advantage thing, it does mention about
Mhm.
creatures of lower level trying to create a surprise attack and that you aren't flat-footed to them.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we played, and I
Go-
don't
go
want
ahead.
to go.
Go ahead and read it out.
I don't want to. Okay, yeah. You aren't flat-footed to hidden, undetected, or flanking creatures of your level or lower.
Yeah.
Creatures that because you're causing a distraction. That's right. Okay,
Yeah.
I think I remember now.
Yeah, because it is using an action that applies it for another reason. Because I think you can still be flat-footed to like prone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, so it's costing it an action, so it'll get to attack you less or do less things coming in for this attack then. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's going to be a 47 to hit. Flat-footed. Is that a crit?
No.
Yeah, damn. Well, you know, we do the things that we can.
Close.
So that's, I appreciate that. That's going to be 13 points of normal damage. And then I got a sneak attack coming in
You say
for
13 points?
Yeah, 13 points and then 15 points of sneak attack. Pretty bad sneak attack roll. Final action is going to try to throw an attack at you. That's not bad against flat-footed. That's going to be 40 to hit flat-footed.
Hits.
All right, and we'll go through that same song and dance again. That's going to be 16 points of normal damage. And then we're going to give, that's once again really bad, 14 points of sneak attack damage. That's its whole turn. Fox, it's yours.
Yeah. I have a question as far as semantics. So if I were to move over here, so fly, move over
Fly to the
here,
west.
and I have a spell that's a 30-foot cone, could I hit these three?
Yeah, no, because the guy in the blue hood has a wall behind him. So if you were to fly over, if you were to try to reposition, the most you could get in a cone would be 3, not 4.
Yeah, three's good. I'm
Sure.
good with 3.
So if you want to take flight and swoop over the heads of Drosharis and some of these assassins, Grey Gardeners, if you land to the sort of directly to the west of Drosharis, then you'll be able to pick out 2 assassins and a Grey Guard, 2 assassins and the Director General at the edge of a cone. So you wings
that
come
right?
out. Yep.
Okay.
A little light there, right behind the assassin in the gray cloak.
Then Fox is going to cast Prismatic Spray.
Now, are you casting it, or are you going to throw it out as a part of a spell strike?
Casting, not Spell Strike.
Okay.
Because if I Spell Strike, I can only get one target.
Got it.
Cast gets all 3.
That's interesting. I've seen most of the time I see Magus is played, it's all about the spell strike, but it's interesting that you've built some spell strike and then some just utility casting in as well.
I think I would use it for Spell Strike also, but it's just when you have a group of guys.
Yeah, no, it's cool to see the sort of the Swiss Army knife options. And I haven't played with a lot of Maguses before, or anyone else that has the sort of like scaling number of spells available. It's an interesting class.
Yeah.
All right, so Prismatic Spray is going to come out. What kind of, is it a different kind of save depending on the color for it?
I believe it is. So I've got to.
So we're all talking about it,
Roll
like
it.
we all know about it. Would you do me a favor? I'm not going to hit the drop because you've used it a lot this episode. Would you just read Prismatic Spray? It's a super cool spell. It's a classic D&D spell. It
Sure.
goes way back.
Yeah, it says a spray of rainbow light beams cascades from your open hand. Each creature in the area must roll 1d8 on the table to see which beam affects it, then attempt a saving throw of the indicated type.
That's cool.
Oh, so So here's kind of the cool things. It's basically random magic. Different colors have different effects. So I think I'll roll the D8 then.
Sure.
So let's start with the assassin in the black hood. Comes out a 7. What color is 7?
Violet.
So a violet ray comes out of your hand and
It's
hits.
a will save.
Oh, now they have some effects for will saves.
Oh, no.
Not the assassin. Oh, no, the assassins do. So let's see. Let's go for this roll here. Their will save is only okay. That's going to be a 37. Is that a success or a failure?
That is exactly a success.
Okay, so the trigger doesn't come in. So we got a
let's
success.
see what that means.
Yeah, let's see
for
what a
you.
violet ray even is or does. Just read it.
Slowed for 1 minute.
On a success?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. It doesn't really say.
Okay.
It just says slowed for 1 minute if critical failure sent to another plane.
Oh, God. So I think
This is
it's
Archives of Nethys. I'm trying to figure out the best way.
Awesome.
We'll maybe
to
loop
look it
back
up,
around to that one. So, because he succeeded, so I don't know. He may just get off scot-free, or he may be slowed for a round. I don't know if it's a full
Yeah,
save
let
or
me
suck
look
on
into
Violet.
it. But
Well, I think Jason's pulling it up. Jason, would you be willing to scout on that? That way we'll move to the next one.
Okay.
The Director General now here. I rolled a 1.
fire damage.
So what is that, a red
reflex. Yeah, red.
ray? So red comes out the second part, hits the Director General. All right. Rolling pretty middle of the road here. 37, which I think is going to be a success again,
So
but just
25
barely.
fire damage.
Nice. Is that already halved?
Nice.
That's halved. Yeah,
Hell
so
yeah.
it would be 50 normally.
That's stupidly cool. All right, and now for the final assassin in the red cloak, an 8.
Oh, that's affected by 2 beams. Roll twice. Rerolling duplicates.
All right, I rolled an 8 again,
Okay, I don't think it gives me another beam,
so a
unfortunately.
4 and an 8 again,
Okay.
Wow.
a 4 and a 5.
Green and blue, they're both fortitude saves.
All right, tell us what those do while I'm rolling that up.
Green is poison damage.
Shit. Shit.
Blue is flesh to stone.
Oh.
I rolled 2 natural ones back to back.
Whoa. He's
Wow.
He's
Oh.
poisoned and turned to stone.
dead. He's dead.
That's awesome.
What a bad day.
All right, so what happens when you critically fail on the poison?
Uh,
I mean, he's turned to
Sorry.
stone, so I'm guessing he's out of the fight, but I'm
Yeah.
just really curious because this is such a cool spell.
yeah, he takes 30 poison damage and is enfeebled 1 for 1 minute.
Okay. And then flesh to stone is he becomes stone forever.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up.
Oh, that's right, because if I remember correctly, this isn't just like, here's a really long spell description. It's like, if you roll this, it's as if the effects of this other fucking spell.
So this works a little differently.
Oh.
So you're slowed 2
Are you on a critical failure?
on a critical failure,
Okay.
and you have to next round make another DC. And if you get down to slowed 3, then you're stone.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. petrified.
That's very generous.
Yeah.
I had to fight a basilisk in another game where I ran one, and it's cool because then it's not just like, well, there goes my
Yeah,
character for a fight.
right.
You're like, you have a round to not fuck it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Normally you would have up to 2, but since you crit failed, you got 1 to make it work.
That guy's
Awesome.
hurting though.
Jason, did we figure out
Yeah.
the violet ray?
From what I can tell,
Mhm.
the save negates whatever it has listed.
Sure.
Okay.
However, if you critically fail, some of them have like further
Got it.
worse things happen.
So it's sort
So
of the
nothing
save or
from
suck
the first
area.
one.
Awesome.
Otherwise, you would only ever cast this spell and just constantly automatic hit
Slow
everybody
people
until
and
they
throw
die.
them to other
Yeah.
planes.
It's true.
All right. So you still
Which is
managed to
fine
do
if
fire
you're
I'm
gonna do
damage,
that.
good with that.
fire damage, and poison, and start turning someone to stone.
That is incredible.
Awesome.
It was really cool too.
That was super
Who
cool.
took fire damage and who's in
The
turn?
Director General took fire damage, and then the one with the red cape, the one directly behind you, Drosharis, in the south, is the one that's turning to
stoned.
stone. Yep.
Got it.
All right, Dro, it's now your turn.
All right. At
That was funny.
first,
At first, you're going whipping around.
and he's going to look at the Director General and just kind of give like the most evilest, slyest, unverbal or nonverbal intimidation roll that he could possibly.
All right.
Come up
I'm
with.
guessing you have intimidating glare.
I do.
Nice.
I do.
Way to role play that up.
Yeah.
All right.
How is a
You got this.
38? 38.
That Oh, you just fall short of intimidating him.
Okay, cool.
You can see it like it. You don't quite get him, but there's a little bit of a consideration in his eyes
Should've
at you.
said something. Damn it. All right. Now I will do your next favorite, which is called Quick Reversal. That's the one that's complicated,
Well, because
and we figured it out.
but you can't yet because you haven't attacked yet. But if you attack, you can then do quick reversal right after that.
That's right. It has
Yeah.
to be an attack. Okay.
Because
Yeah.
demoralize doesn't go against your attack penalties. Grappling and tripping does.
Okay.
So, but you still have 2 actions left. You can still attack someone and then quick reversal. So you're
That's
set
true.
up.
Because it's only one action.
Yeah, which is wild. But
Quick
that's why I thought
reversal.
your second attack.
All right. Yeah. So
penalty.
since he didn't get mad or get hurt, I'll try to swing at him. How's a not very good roll? I rolled a 3.
Well, you're still a fighter.
I know. It's pretty. Let's go with 37 to hit.
Oh, you do miss, but only just
barely. That wasn't a very good die today.
And now you can quick
Little
reversal.
quick reversal.
Which 2 are you hitting with quick reversal?
These 2.
You're going to hit the
This will
Director
be the
General
Director
and the one
General,
turning to
and this will
stone.
be the stone.
All right. Roll for them both. What do you
Director
got?
General got a 17.
Plus,
So that's
that's
plus
probably
a
going to be
bunch.
a
Yeah,
hit.
plus 29.
Someone, you can do that math.
46.
Yeah,
That's a hit.
46.
Not a crit.
Okay.
But
and then
and then against the poor stoned assassin.
35. That's a miss, probably.
Only just barely.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa, dude.
Those colors were fucking crazy.
Wild.
Those prismatic.
I got to make
spread.
sure. Do I do 2?
Well, you only hit 1, so I only have to roll the damage. I think
That's
you only
true.
roll damage
I
once
only roll damage
regardless.
for once because I only hit 1 anyways.
Look at that. Taking care of itself.
Yay.
God, I love prismatic spray. Like random crazy spells
Just
are so
fun.
cool.
It's just a lot of fun.
Well, and then like some of the other random things in games, like the Decks of Many Things or the Rod of Wonder, like at least
Yeah.
prismatic spray, it's all offensive and good. You're not going to randomly help them.
Right.
What do you got for damage, Jason?
22 total, 2 of which is fire damage.
Nice. Wait, did you roll 1 on each of the fire dice? You get 2 dice of fire damage. It's greater flaming.
Damn it, I got to fix this.
Yeah. So 22, about to go
Oh,
higher.
how about 7 damage? I rolled a 6.
Okay.
7 fire damage. So 28, 7 of which is fire.
Nice.
And I'll fix that right now.
Yeah.
I spent my last turn looking up prismatic spray, not
Thanks.
studying my guy.
Appreciate that.
Thank you for your
I'm
time.
here for you, bro.
You got me.
Thank you for your service, Jason.
Boo.
And I don't mean your time with the U.S. military. I mean thank you for looking up that rule.
All right, I'll take that one.
All right. Now it's the assassin in the black hood who didn't get thrown to another plane of existence.
Unfortunately.
He's not super happy about that, though, so I think he's going to whip around. He's going to hit you with a create opening
Okay.
and make you flat-footed, and then he's going to try to go to Stab Town.
Got it.
Jesus fuck.
It's really nice this time of year.
Stab time.
Yeah.
I love Snaptown.
Well, you know what? Usually I like to end on a big, like dramatic cliffhanger that's bad for you, but I just rolled a natural 1. So find out what his critical failure is on the next fucking episode.
For once.
The Live to Die podcast is a production of Live to Die Gaming. Follow us on social media at Live to Die Pod. Leave a review and tune in next week for more. If you like the amazing background audio and music, all that credit goes to Syrinscape. Make sure you check them out at Syrinscape.com.